Hello and welcome to this another postmortem for my game, Open Fishing XL. We're gonna go over how the book situation works in the game. So there's basically a thing in this game. This series is basically just to tell you how I made this game, how I got it from like just a concept into like a game that's out on Steam and you can play it and you can like buy and stuff. And how I made my first little bit of money as a game dev. So that's all very exciting. I'm gonna teach you how I did all this stuff. Hopefully it'll be valuable to you. Let's escape. There we go. I press tab. So here we have the book. It's pretty cool. It's essentially it's just like a series of like little pages, and you can just the escape menu, but it's like a little more in depth. There's the inventory that she talked about last episode. We talked about the inventory. Check that out. Watch more of my videos. It helps with the algorithm. I'm pretty sure. The map. I haven't gone over the map yet. I think, but we'll do that at some point, maybe. So. Yes. What I was gonna talk about was we have this situation here. It's like itchy eye. It's essentially like a hub for all of the features in the game. And that's what I'm talking about today, how this works, how I added this, not all this stuff, but how I vaguely went about doing this. So, let's get into the code, or let's first actually get into something else, which is all my notes. Let's get into why I did this. So essentially, I wanted it to be like kind of a unified UI. So all the UI is kind of centered around that thing. It keeps it a little more organized than having it just like be all of your keyboard. I don't know if you can see that. I hope you could. That'd be funnier. I can't see myself recording. I only have one monitor now. So essentially, what I was talking about was it keeps all your UI together. It keeps it a little more organized. It did get a little messy near the end of development, but that's like normal for an early access game, kind of. Like, it's pretty usual that like you'll add features and you'll add features and you'll add features and then it gets kind of clogged up. Because like for example, something I feel I could have done better uh, was the bugs tab. So here we have a whole bunch of insects that are in the game, and that's like super neat feature. People love this feature, by the way. People went wild when I added the insect situation. It's so cute. People love bugs. Let's see if we can find one. Oh, there it is. The sand beetle. I know that one because I added it myself because I'm the only dev. But yeah, so like you can like mark off your bugs. But like I added that pretty late, and I feel there wasn't really space anymore here. So that's why I ended up adding it here. And yeah, it looks a little bit strange-ish. But yeah, that's why I recommend you, like, if you are adding a whole bunch of UI and it gets a little messy, redo it. And ideally, you wouldn't have launched in early access quite that early as I did from your first game, because it's not really the best. I have a video about why I did early access. You can go watch that. It's somewhere, I think. I don't know. But essentially, it gets a little messy, so maybe redo your UI at some point. And I also wanted it to be kind of like Endless Oceans. Endless Ocean is like one of my favorite games ever. It's an underwater exploration-y game. It's so good. I've been replaying it on the Wii. Ignore the quotations there. It's completely above board, above table, totally not on my PC. So essentially, I kind of wanted it to be like that game in a way, because it takes a lot of inspiration from like not that much, but a little bit. You know, like it's both fish related, and I feel the UI works well for. So essentially, the layout of how I keep opening and closing this. It's kind of a situation. But yeah, so this is essentially just copied from Endless Ocean because I like that a lot. So let's now move on to the code. How does that work? We got the code over here. So essentially, I feel like I did a decent job in this case, keeping my code kind of like chunked out into separate bits. This code isn't like the best. I feel there's way too much going on here. Also, I didn't know what a serialized field was yet back then, so that could have been slightly more organized. But just everything's public, which isn't actually a problem at all. Like you can make a game fine just having all your variables be public. But Yeah, so like this isn't the most clean way of doing this, I feel. I could have done this like neater, I think. And there's a bunch of comments, which is kind of useless because this is super simple code a lot of the time. And I never read them, so why would I write them? But essentially, there's my book. Let me read all these little notes out. There could be. Oh dear. There, book. So essentially, how the book works is it's this big background image, and then it loads in like the index. Oh, I'm on the back. Oh, that's interesting. So it loads in like this here, or and it just like enables and disables these game objects that are holding. Oh, this you can't see this, but there would be fish usually here, but they're invisible because they're not loaded in with the script I used for that. And here we have like the tutorial, which is also like loaded in like so. There we go. It just loads in different pages in a very basic way. It's not that complicated. But like for example, here the tutorial is a separate script, which this is good. But we can see here that I actually put the catch record, so that's like the list of all of the fish you've caught, which is actually like the fish overview part, I'm pretty sure is in so like this part where you see like all the big pictures of the fish, or like the where you see like 4 fish, and then you have like the info part where you get all the information about the fish. This here is this is a separate script. You can see here. Look at that. Look at all this separate organized code. But I just chunked the fish for the list in here, which isn't the best. I don't really like that I did it that way. I should have probably made this part of its own script, like that was on here or something like that. But hey, it works, you know. So it's not that big of a deal, but it would have been slightly neater if I had done it that way, I feel. And I think that's all I had to say about. Yeah, and I wanted to tell you that it's really nice to have some like sound effects for when you turn pages in a book. I don't think I had those when I first added it, or I had less sound effects, something like that. At some point, I added more stuff, and it really made it way more satisfying. It's like this noise, it's good. Got like, I feel like the noises are a little samey, but you know, it's like here. Like here you have this nice little page flipping sound. I feel like I should have added that here as well. Really. But it's nice. It adds like little bits of texture and like vibes to the game. So that's pretty cool. And I think that's all my notes. So hope you got something useful out of this video. Like and subscribe, of course. I upload these videos daily, so you'll get lots of useful content hopefully. And that's it. Goodbye.